Hi. Happy Sunday. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the virtual healing room. Pull up, pull up, pull up. I am so excited about this conversation, y'all. Oh my God. We are ready. We're here. Let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that you can see me. Let me know that you can feel. Oh, they pulling up quick. Okay. Let me find out y'all was waiting on this live. Oh, 40 got y'all ready. Ooh, I know. I know y'all was ready for this. What's going on? Hey, Michelle. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all already know how this about. You know I'm very pushy. I'm pushy and I'm needy. Blame it on the Taurus and me. Shout out to the Taurus season. My birthday is next Wednesday, hence why I'm doing this live. I'm asking that you share this video. Share, love, and tag 5 people. You know what? It's my birthday. Oh, 40 too much. I ain't got Shaundra on the screen, but if I told her to tag 40 people, you doing a lot. Who for to tag 40 people? But you know what? Do something in increments of 4, 8, 12, whatever. Let's do it. Tag people. Hi. Hey, Pam. Welcome to the live, guys. You guys can hear me. You can see me. Hey, Auntie. Oh, let me find out this for me. Y'all here. Thank you. Happy early birthday. Thank you so much. I'm asking you to share this video, ladies and gentlemen. But ladies, if you on this live and you ain't shared this video, like, it's a shame. We do not talk about the transitions that happen from our 30s to our 40s. And this is the live for it. I am bringing on my mentor, my friend. She gonna drop all types of gems. You already know how we about to do it. So I need you to share this video. Even if you're not even close to 40, it does not matter. You will make 40 in the name of Jesus. So trust me, you'll need these nuggets. You'll need all of this. So welcome to the virtual healing room. I am your host. I'm Erika Genice, and I have dope conversations with dope people. The purpose of this platform is to motivate and inspire people to improve the relationship with self. And we do this by bringing prominent leaders onto this platform where we talk about all things spiritual, mental health, financial, and fitness. Listen, in hopes of bringing closed door conversations to the forefront. Y'all already know. Sometimes when I be giving that spiel, I feel like y'all can repeat it after me. Y'all already know how this go. Y'all already know the purpose of this platform, and I pray that it's helping people. I pray that the messaging is transforming people around the world. So tag people. I also want to know, like, where y'all tuning in from, because I wasn't ready for all these people to be popping in. Where y'all tuning in from? Let me know your city. Let me know your state. We want to know, like, we want to know all the people. We need to know all the things where you coming from, city and state. Let us know, and I'll pop that on the board. But thank you so much for joining us. Coming to the stage is my girl. I feel like this introduction, I don't even really need an introduction because this is her 3rd time pulling all the way up to this platform. She is my friend. She is my mentor. She is my sister. I feel like sometimes we all the accolades that she is, like, she's an author, she's a speaker, she's a coach, but there's nothing more than her being a friend, a daughter, someone who I can call that will literally pour into my life. Like, all those things that she's acquired, I'm so happy and I'm so proud of those things. But there's nothing more important than the fact that I have her as a sister. So joining me to the stage is Shaundra Dineen. Y'all already know the space, but let's get in. Did I do you justice, girl?
Girl, I'm over here trying not to cry. I'm like, Lord, let me keep it back. Keep me in check here. Hey, boy, hey.
Baby, listen. That I do not take our friendship and sisterhood for granted, and I pray and I hope that you feel that.
I do. I feel that. I do. I feel it. I do. Thank you.
I
Thank
love
you.
you so
Thank you.
much.
I love you too. I love you. And you know you always have my yes.
Yes. Thank you.
No, you always have my yes.
I don't think you have ever told me no. I'm gonna start using that in my 40s though. Like, hey, This bill is billing. What up?
Okay. This bill is doing something.
This bill is doing something. Like, at what point can I use? I'm gonna start using that in other ways. But just kidding. I just love you. So thank you for being here, Shaundra. Let me tell you something. We got Milltown in the area. We got Milwaukee.
I'm looking. I'm seeing everyone jump on. I see Pam on. Pam is my sister. Hey, Pam. I see Jennifer on. Girl, you are pulling them in, okay?
Yes. I think it's you, girl, or the comment. Listen, we a heck of a force. You and I get together.
It's always good.
Do you remember last year when I introduced you as a Taurus? I was so confident. I was like, and we fellow Tauruses. And you were like, no, I'm a whole Gemini. I was like, wait, when? How we friends?
whole entire. See, that's how special our friendships are, because Taurus and Gemini, usually, they
don't really get along.
But we do good.
Oh, do we do? Yeah. So Shayla, she's been on my platform. She's my cousin and literally my best friend since we grew up together. She's a Gemini, and baby, when I tell you the balance of our relationship. It's unreal.
It does this, but it can go that way or that way. But right here, it's balanced.
My mom said, Granny Poo Poo and I are in the house. What you will not do is make me cry. That's what you're not gonna do.
Song. Hey, Mama Bird. Hey, my bird. My bird.
Let's get into it, y'all. So thank you so much, man. We got 17 people watching and active right now. And before I get into what's going on next, I need you to share. Shaundra, would you give them a number of how many, not share, so they need to share, but how many people you think they need to tag?
They need to tag at least, I'm going to say 5 people, at least, because everyone should have 5 close friends in their immediate circle that you can say hello and come on, you need to hear this. So 5 people, if everybody tag 5 people in this live, it's a conversation I need to hear.
Yes. Let's get into it. I want to read you this quote. And the audience members, you already know you are just as the co-host as Shaundra is. And so I'm going to read this quote. I'm going to also put it in the chat. But I want to know y'all's thoughts on this. It says this. So you're about to hit 40. You're fabulous 40. Some say that fabulous is right, but only if you choose for these years to be fabulous. You see, you can either get busy living by embracing what's to come, or we can make excuses thereby getting busy dying. I'm going to read it again. Because they can't just be reading us on this quote, but let's get it. So you're about to hit 40. You're fabulous 40, some would say. And they will be right, but only if you choose for these years to be fabulous. See, you can either get busy living by embracing what's to come, or you can make excuses, thereby getting busy dying. What's your thoughts, Boo?
As you were saying that, and I have to say, hey, Kenya, I see some ladies on here that could probably sit in this seat with me. So ladies, if you're over 40, drop some advice in the comments. But to your quote, when you were reading that, I wrote, you're either going to get busy living or you're preparing to die. Either way, coming into, you're doing something. Your life is doing something. It's either living or it's dying. So you're preparing to live or you're preparing to die. And coming into our 40s, we need to be preparing to live on another level of living. Another level of living in every area of our lives.
Yeah. Audience, let me know what y'all think. What do you think about that quote? Choose wisely. We're getting hearts. That quote hit people. And when I read it, although all of the other things in the middle of that quote, what I heard is either you can live or you can die.
Yeah.
What you gonna do, sis?
Yeah, me too.
How do you choose to live this next decade or just the remainder of your life? What do you choose to do? Because again, it's choice though, right, Shaundra? Like you get to choose.
It's a choice. You get to choose. And that's the beauty of life, is that, God gives us will. Yeah. And we have the ability to choose whichever way we want our life to go, however we want it to go. You have the ability to choose it. You have the ability to create it.
Yeah. So Each year I set a variety of different spiritual goals, Chandra,
Mhm.
um, to challenge me and to keep my faith growing. I feel like as I've gotten older, my relationship with God
Mhm.
has been next level. Um, did you find that your intensity in your faith, in your desire to want to have a closer relationship with God, do you feel like in your 40s it got a little bit more turned up?
For me, it did.
Okay.
Um, I think I started to live out my faith for myself.
Mm.
And it was not for my children. It was
Yeah.
not for a significant other. It was not based on what I was raised in. I think coming into my 40s, I'm like, okay, what do I want spiritually for my life? And how do I grow best in this season of my life and my spirituality? So it went up, it went up a notch. I kicked it up a level. I got involved in some things that I probably wouldn't have gotten involved with within the ministry before that point. And we'll get into some of those things I don't want to start talking too much, but to answer the question, yeah, my spirituality became just as personal to me
Mm.
as as my health, as my finances, as my emotional well-being. My spirituality became of the utmost importance to me.
Yeah. What type of spiritual goals do you feel like we should be incorporating going into this next phase of our lives?
Oh, affirmation. I'm huge on affirmation, on
You are.
meditation. And I think going beyond just reading a scripture and showing up for a church service 1 or 2 times a week, you now are starting to, it should be a lifestyle that you are developing. It should be, I'm not just reading the scripture, I'm living the scripture. When the scripture tells me I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, I know we hear that one all the time. I'm believing like I'm the I mean, yeah, I am that.
Yeah.
And I live my life according to that. I live that out. So it's not just something that I'm reading and it's not just something that I'm reciting. It becomes part of my everyday journey. I am living
Yeah.
what the Bible, the guidebook of principles, I'm living those principles in my life every day. And I start to see fruit from it. I
Mm.
start to see the results of what I'm living out every day. Yeah.
So good. Jennifer says, I am scripture.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a word.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's
love that
the
she said, I dropped my agenda and really submitted to God's, especially related to self improvement. Jennifer is getting all in our conversation.
Oh,
But
Jennifer, don't make us pull you in. Listen,
look,
we got room. We got room on the screen. Don't make us add you into here, because baby,
okay. Okay. Yeah.
but it's so true. Like
Mhm.
even my mom and I, we do devotionals, which is probably the one of the most beautiful ways that her and I connect, as we do devotionals together. And it really started from her. Like she was like the beginning of this year. I believe it was this year, may have been last year, but she was very intentional about her devotion to God. And I introduced her to the Bible app. And so now we do devotions together. And
Mhm.
I can tell from like last year to this year how the word is so important to me. It
Mhm.
means things that's so different.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then to be able to share the word of God with someone so intimate,
Mhm.
it just hits different. And
It
so, yeah.
It really does. And you talking about devotionals, it was in this season of my life that I even started to pick up a devotional and think about reading it. Like before that, like I wasn't meditating. I wasn't
Yeah.
journaling like I am now. I wasn't finding my comfort in the word. I stopped depending so much on other people. Hey Kiani, I didn't
Yes.
hope you're feeling better. I didn't. I'm sorry. I had
It's okay. No, girl, we love Key.
um,
You can stop anytime for Key. I love her.
so I started to find comfort and direction in God's word, in the devotionals. And as I was saying, I started to live that out in my life. I started to look at that. I started to reflect on those things and try my best to walk out the devotion. I'm giving, it was like I rededicated my life to God with a decision that I made internally for myself.
Yeah,
It
that's
wasn't
so
based
good.
on an audience. It wasn't based on anyone else. It was just me and him in my quiet place in my home of, I want this next season of my life to be good in every area. Like I want
Yes,
everything to be well. I want
that's
everything to be healthy and whole. And that included, your spiritual walk with God. Because everything starts there.
yeah. You're nothing without him.
Everything is, that's the foundation of all. I
That's
love that
right.
faith is the first of your 4 F's, because that is where
Yeah.
it all lies. And coming into 40, you develop a wisdom. I told you before we got on here, I said, the Proverbs 31 woman, I don't care what nobody says, she was over 40. To be able to manage her home and her life the way that she did, it took some experience that led her in that direction. So
Yeah.
wisdom also guides our spiritual walk. It guides our life after 40. The first scripture in Proverbs 1:7, it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So when we
Mm,
begin to enter into the 40s, I believe that season of life has to be so grounded in wisdom and the choices that you make for yourself and for others that deal with you. It's
mm,
important. If we can just learn to be wise women,
mm. Talk to him.
wise woman is good for everyone that she comes in contact with. A wise woman is good for her romantic relationships, for her parenting relationships, for your sister, your daughter, all of those relationships. If you can be a woman of wisdom and be a wise woman that stewards everything well, that she comes into, oh, I feel myself going that way, so
Oh,
I'm gonna come back this way. But if we can steward our lives well through wisdom, a lot of the challenges and a lot of the things that we face, it happens, but you have a tool to deal with it.
yeah, that's so good.
Ugh.
Oh, I felt that though, because here's the thing. A lot of the things that we've encountered, at least for me that I've encountered, hasn't necessarily been like new.
Yeah,
They just kind of keep revisiting me, and then the way I choose to interact with those situations, that's the wisdom part. So where I used to do a certain type of thing, or where I used to act a certain type of way, or where I used to show up in a certain type of way,
mhm.
with wisdom, it just looks completely different. So these
It does.
situations aren't necessarily new. It's just the way that you choose to
Yeah, yeah.
um bring your wisdom, and just the way that you choose to handle them just it should be completely different. And I think with 40s, that's the sort of mindset that we need to go into, because
You're not as hot headed. I'll say that for me. Like
oh god,
people
no.
would not believe this, but in my twenties, I was a this mouth. So
Mm,
here's the thing with me.
yeah,
The communicating is a natural, it's just what I do naturally.
yeah,
I can talk. Words are my thing. And I can use them either way, to hurt or to harm. So in my 20s, these words didn't have much wisdom to them, and I would use them as darts. Okay? If I wanted to get under somebody's skin, I could string it together and send it your way, and with a smile on my face, and you would be standing there thinking, now did she just, my
yeah,
brother say it best, I tell him, because she can tell you off and you won't even know you be told off, and you just still sitting there, and she done walked on off and then your right and whatever. But as I have gotten older, I've learned how to use that positively, right?
yes,
How to
yes,
saddle those words, how to taste them before they come out of my mouth. As I entered 40 and over 40, I taste my words a lot quicker or easier than I would in my 30s, right? So
yeah,
I know how to use those in the best way. I know how to sit in patience with my words and sit quiet. So like you said, the challenges still come. We respond to them differently.
that's right.
Because again, wisdom, experience teaches us. And if
Yeah,
you're wise, you take what you've learned and you apply it and you get a different result.
that's right. Yeah, I've had a few situations that's probably have came up over the last year, where I was like, baby, if you would have got young Erika,
Right? If you would have got Nina, baby.
ooh, you did not. It ain't Erika, it's Erika, not Erika Genice. It's just I'm giving you straight Erika, and I'm going in. And
Right.
then you realize like that serves no one.
Mm-mm.
And all it does is make me more riled up. And you've
Yeah.
never, this is what I also realized too. And I want to get your opinion about like when you feel like you didn't read someone or you didn't told them something,
Hmm.
you never really say all the things that you want to say. So I
No.
just start being like, I'm not even gonna touch that
Mm-mm.
because it's gonna be in another thing and another thing and another thing. And I don't have a time for that. So I'm
Right.
just going to respectfully disengage from this conversation and I'm not going to respond.
That's
When
wisdom.
I tell you the sense of peace I've got from that, where people are like, you should say something to him, you should say something to her. For what?
Yeah.
My saying is never ending. I will read you for days.
Yeah.
I
It
don't
never
have days though.
stops. Yeah. You can go on and on and on with
I go
that.
on and on and on.
It's wisdom though.
And it's
Because
all negative things too, though.
yeah.
That's another thing. It's
Yeah.
not even like I'm going on and on and on about how I feel like you're amazing. I'm literally assassinating your character.
Yeah. And we don't
You're
have
being on like who has time for that?
it doesn't
And
serve
we
anyone.
already know that's not it's not godly. So that's a
It doesn't.
word for some of y'all on this live who want to read people. God gonna read them. You good.
That's it.
Go on about your
Because
business.
here's the reason why you don't want to entangle yourself in that. You let God handle that, or you let it get handled on its own without your
That's right.
involvement. Is that you will be able to sit and see it come full circle. What needs to be seen and what needed to be said happen, and you were in a position where you could see it. You know what I mean? If that
That's
makes sense.
right.
You know, you can
Yeah.
sit quietly. I can sit quietly, sit back and just watch it unfold. And I have no blood on my hands because I didn't say nothing to him. I didn't, I sat in patience and in wisdom.
Listen,
But
listen.
just learn to sit. If women could just listen, just learn to sit in wisdom.
Just sit in it. You know, they say the best revenge is none.
Just bathe in wisdom. Let's just wear wisdom crowns.
That's it. And the best revenge is none. Move on.
Right. Move
That's
on.
it.
Move on.
You don't have time. But listen, oh, they loving this conversation. You go ahead and read it.
Hey Kim. Hey.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, he is, honey. We don't have to. You know why? Because I'm his favorite.
Oh, that
I'm his
favorite.
favorite. I'm his. I know you.
Oh,
You might think you
oh,
his
I
favorite, but I'm his
kinda.
favorite.
Ooh,
Okay.
the
I'm his
favorite.
favorite. And he takes care of me. He is concerned about everything that I'm concerned about, and he perfects everything.
Listen,
That
y'all done got
makes
me
my
high.
life.
Listen, my earrings
Okay.
coming. Ooh, baby, that conversation. It's that 40 conversation. We
This that
better pour into them.
conversation. This it. You got to know that. See, that's the
Yes.
confidence that comes over 40, I believe. You show up, you wake up with just something about yourself that you know what I got this. At 35, it's like you're figuring it out. Like I remember when I
Mm-hmm.
hit 35, I was like, oh, this is what I want to be when I grow up. This is the career I want. And I was deciding those things for me, not based on school, not based on education, not based on a degree, not based, hey, oh, I figured it out. This is what I
Yeah.
want to be when I grow up. So that 35 to 40, it's like I'm settling into that. And then when I hit 40, honey, it was for me, it was like wide open, new. I was just a new, I felt like I was a new person. I just felt like a
Yeah.
whole different individual.
Yeah. Let's talk about this dreaded M word.
Girl, I'm sitting here hot now, flashing as we speak.
Baby,
We wasn't on this
take
line
it out.
to
And
take this
listen,
bra
I'm
off.
hot because I'm listening. This conversation
Listen,
got me good. But baby, we gotta talk about it because we don't talk about menopause
yeah,
a lot.
right.
And I understand that most people don't hit menopause until I think it's maybe in their 50s, but our bodies start to change way before that. And this is just
Yeah,
for me reading information and talking to my friends and talking to some of my family members where you see the lead up. It says that our estrogen levels will start to vary and chemicals in our brains will begin to change. And Shaundra, with all that combined, I can only imagine that this will mess with someone's mental state and quite frankly, cause some sense of a depression.
hmm
Have you felt that? If you have, how would you deal with something like that? How are we to deal with the lead up of menopause?
I'm coming into your 40s. One thing that you start to prioritize is your health.
Okay.
So you have to prioritize your health. And prioritizing your health as a woman, it's important to know what happened with the women that came ahead of you. So, like my mom had a total hysterectomy when she was like 33, 34, in her early 30s. So coming into for me, coming into my 40s, and I'm
Hmm.
like, my body is doing something different. Like for
Yeah.
me, it started with breakouts. Like my skin went left, and I
Okay.
started having pimples. So it was like I was coming into like I was a adolescent all over again. I'm like, what is going on with my skin? So then I'm, looking for products and those kind of things for my skin. But then I started to realize that, understand that where I could maybe drop 10 pounds in a month, I'm not
Yeah.
dropping that 10 pounds as quickly and easy as I did before. Like
Yeah.
I was in my 30s, I was a runner and I
When
ran.
did you run your marathon? So I remember you telling me, and I think this
Yes,
predates our friendship, but when did you run your, was it a half
it
marathon
was
or
a
a
half
full?
marathon in
Okay.
2011. It was 2000, baby. I got the medal is still hanging on my door. It hangs
And
everywhere
is
with me.
you worked
'Cause
for it?
that 13.1 miles was real. You hear me? But I
Yes.
was a runner and it was easy to drop weight at that time. Well, coming into my 40s, it wasn't that easy to drop 10 pounds. And coming into I'm closer to my 50s now. I'll be 48 May 26th. I'm like literally like a month ago, I woke up and with weight, I didn't even know where it came from because I'm sitting in
Yeah.
a perimenopausal place. But we didn't talk about it. Like my mom didn't talk to me about it because she didn't experience those symptoms because she
Yeah.
had a hysterectomy early in life.
Yeah.
So when I'm experiencing these hot flashes, like I told you, I'm sitting here now and my air is on 66 because it has to blow ice in here at this
Yeah.
point to keep me from melting. But
Yeah.
we don't talk about that and how do we deal with it. Just this past weekend I was at an event with about 4 or 5 other women that were in that 45 to 50 age, and I started pulling my sleeves up. This was so funny. I was pulling my sleeves up and kind of I was trying to be really discreet about my personal summer that was going on. And one of the ladies said to me, she said, "You hot, huh?" I said, "I am. I'm having no summer." And she said, "Do you take black cohosh?" I think was the name of it. And I was like, "No." She said, "Oh, girl, you need to get you some of that. That's going to help you with your hot flashes." I
Yeah.
mean, we don't talk to each other to know that kind of information. Trust me, when I came home yesterday, it was the first thing I ordered on Amazon. Like, save all this other stuff in this cart for later. Give me this black
Yeah.
cohosh right now because I
Yep.
need this in my life. But we don't talk about it. We have to talk about that space between perimenopausal and going into menopause and just the differences that start happening to your body when you're
Yeah.
over 40. And I'm medically trained. This is just my experience. I'm sure everyone, has a different experience or can testify to something different. This is just what I've experienced,
Yeah.
that we didn't have those conversations. And yes, I went to the doctor. I had my well woman visits, but even in that, she never brought up to me, "Hey, your body is going to start doing this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
And
need to
lady,
do that."
yeah, and ladies in the chat, let us know. We have a lot of ladies on here. We have 16 people watching at this very moment. And if you are a lady, if you're a lady over 40, let us know what sort of changes that you experience. And just allow the room to kind of read some of these responses to see if it's relatable, and if you have experienced some of these changes, what have you done to kind of help? I don't even know if you can help mitigate it, but like make ease things in a little bit better, make you feel a little bit better. Like, what
But
have you
sometimes
experienced?
just the knowledge of it, just if I know
Yeah.
something, I can prepare for it because it does what you said. It does make you feel funky. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to speak depression and say I was depressed, but I can say I didn't feel like myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
didn't
different.
feel like myself, and I did not know what was going on. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I looked at, is it my relationship? I'm like, God, I'm praying, I'm doing all the spiritual stuff that we talked about just a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Feeling like this, and why am I crying at the drop of a hat, and why am I moody, and the things that used to bother me are not bothering me or bothering me, and I'm hungry all the time, and I just ate and why am I hungry again? But all
Yeah.
of that goes into the things that your body is doing as you're entering menopause. So, um, yeah, I could go on and on about it. But at the end of the day, the
Yeah.
bottom line is that, ladies, we have to talk to each other about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let
Prioritize
me.
your health. Know your family history. Talk to your mom, your aunties, your grandma, your sister, your older sisters, whoever has gone this journey ahead of you. Talk to them and ask them point blank, tell me what happened to you at this age.
Yeah.
How did you handle it? It's a conversation that we have to have. So we have to prioritize our health at this age.
That's good. When did you notice, or have you noticed that your cycles were changing?
They are, I'm 40, I'll be 48 this month. So the
Okay.
last
It's a
year, my
change.
cycles very infrequent, and this might be too much information for all y'all that's on here, but we girls, we're gonna talk about
But
it.
this is what we're here
Um,
for.
so it went from, I was usually like a 27, 28 day cycle to
Yep.
being a 35, 40 day cycle to being a 60 to 61 day cycle.
Yeah.
So it's, that progression of changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to prioritize your health and understand what's happening with your body when those things happen.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. And thank you, ladies, for being so open. They are talking in this chat.
I
And
see
this
it.
is,
Yes.
yes, this is what we need. So thank you. Shaundra, at this point of our life, especially with me like transitioning to 40, I feel like I have feel like I've been bombarded with a lot of worries. Me, my daughter being 6 and, her
Mhm.
getting older, me having conversations with my parents and looking at them on FaceTime and noticing the shift of their age and in
Mhm.
person and just movement and um, all of these sort of health concerns that now I'm starting to have and work and finances and all of the things, right? Just I feel like it's a lot of stresses that comes with 40. Um, how can we effectively manage our mental balance in this sort of season of watching our parents get older, watching some of our grandparents kind of ascending to the next phase of life? Because that's real. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about our friends getting older. We don't talk
Mhm.
about the fact that our
Um,
kids may be leaving us too,
so that
right?
goes to my next priority. Right. So my next prioritization point is
Yeah.
prioritizing your family, but also prioritizing your self care. I know we
Mm.
hear that it's a buzzword right now: self care, self care, self care. But we have to take care of ourselves so that we can take care of others, because
Yeah.
we are at a point in our lives where the roles are starting to switch between parenting. Like, I'm not the child now, I'm now responsible for my aging parents.
Yeah.
I have you kind of started late in the game, but I have adult children,
Yes.
so I start to
Yes,
have
I do.
thoughts about leaving legacy for my grandchildren, my adult kids. So, but if I am not taking care of me, and if I'm not well in those four areas: faith, mental, faith, freedom, fitness, and finance, if I'm not
Yep.
well in those areas for myself, I can't pour into anyone else. But
Yeah.
we do start to see the shift in our parents, and we become responsible, or we become more responsible, or more in the dealings of what's going on in their life.
Yeah.
And I have found, for me to be able to be at my best for my parents and help them, I have to give myself time. I have to learn to sit alone with myself. And I know that's something that changed for me in my 40s. I was always um, ready to hang out with someone and go somewhere with someone. I've learned to be happy in my own presence. Um, and as I have learned to be happy in my own presence, it has allowed me to be better for everyone else that I have to work with and that I have to help, or that I'm responsible for.
Yeah. What were you most surprised about regarding your physical changes with your body in 40?
um,
And I'm asking everybody this too. I just dropped it in the chat. Don't be putting Chandra out here by herself, okay? Listen, you can have some stuff shift and twist. and change. Okay, don't do that. What were you most surprised about with the changes in your
So,
body?
for me, I don't know that I had a lot of body changes, but I began to appreciate my body.
Yes, talk to him.
Like I began to appreciate the way my body was me.
Mm.
Um, I told Erica this. I'll tell y'all now since we on here on
You
Dope
got to
Talk.
tell him now.
I've told Erica this, and we've had this conversation before even this moment. When I appreciated my body, I changed everything that I gave my body. So my underwear was a major change for me over 40. So if it's any guys on here, I'm sorry y'all had to hear that.
No,
Um,
they're welcome. No, 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 no. They're
but
welcome. They're
I
welcome.
did. I was like, bring on the sexy, bring it on. Let me, like, I was okay looking at my naked self in the mirror. And that had been hard for me. That had been hard for me.
Yeah.
Just appreciating the way my body flowed and the
Yeah.
way my body sat and what rested where, and the thing was thanging and I could appreciate the thing thanging,
Listen.
the boobs were boobing and I
The
could appreciate the boobs boobing.
yeah.
And so that was huge for me. And it spilled over into my sexuality,
Yeah.
how I honored my body in that space.
Yeah.
Not that I was careless with my body before that, but I really paid attention to and honored the way God had created my body to be.
I
I
love that
wasn't
shit.
trying to hide anything. I wasn't trying to, you know, take away here, take away there. Like I just got comfortable with my body and
Yeah.
appreciate where I was. So I fed it differently. I loved on it differently. And I would share with others how to love on it and appreciate it differently.
Yeah.
Um, you don't just go with the flow of whatever is thrown at you without saying too much, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes,
You
I
know,
do, ma'am.
I'm gonna teach you how to take care of me because I embrace all of this.
That's so good.
And I'm
Oh,
gonna take care of it. Going back to prioritizing health. I'm taking care of what I have. I'm taking care of. I just loved on myself, and the panties thing was the biggest thing for me. I'm like, I'm throwing away all these granny panties
let me tell
and
you
bring
something.
on the itty bitty.
Tuesday nights, it's over for that drawer. You
Okay.
understand what I'm saying? It's out of there. Okay. That was one of the best things that you told me because here's the thing. I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm doing it for me. And so it almost feels like you're saying that 40 is I'm loving on me. I don't care if you don't like
Yeah.
it. I don't care if you're not attracted to it. I'm attracted to it. I'm
Yeah.
attracted to me. It's a different level of confidence I feel like that we're going into our 40s with.
It was, and it was different for me in a lot of reasons. I got married when I was 19. We were
Yeah.
married for 20 years. I got a divorce. I divorced. We were married for 20 years. So I divorced when I was 39. So coming into 40 was such an awakening for me of what had been hidden, what had been suppressed, what had been ignored, what had been formed because someone else had an opinion of,
Yeah.
and this was in every area of my life, not
Yeah.
just my body, but it was coming into that 40 and coming through divorce. And I'm like, awakening on top of an awakening
Yeah.
that the confidence there, this is my life, right? This is my body. This is my relationship with God. And all of those things just morphed and developed a greater appreciation or for myself, from me to me, and
Yeah.
not so much what everyone else. And when you wake up and realize that it teaches other people too how to deal with you and how to handle you.
Yeah.
It is a confidence. I do believe that it is a confidence.
Yeah. I feel like when I met you, were you in your you had to be like either turning 40 or 40 when I feel like we met.
Yeah,
And
I was 41 when we met.
yeah, your level of, I just remember meeting you and being like, oh, when I turn 40, I want to look like her. I want to be jazzy like her. I want to be like literally in a room of like when I walk into the room, I'm this light like her. And it just made me think about what we would consider older people, which is a joke, right? 40 is a
Mhm.
joke to think they were older, but when I'm 10 years, kind of, we're not 10, what, 7, 8 years, whatever it is, you don't really, I didn't have that many point of references
Right,
for
right.
40. And I was like, oh, 40 sexy. Oh, they look like that at 40? Shit, what up? I'm about to look like that too. The funny part is I met some ladies yesterday out and they were all 51. They've been best friends since high school. And I was like, oh shit, we can look like that at 50?
I'm there. I'm there. Like,
No,
I'm meeting women that
listen.
are 50, 51, 52, and I'm
Holy,
like, I
y'all
would have been that.
fine.
Yeah,
So
fine,
they got
honey.
to pouring into me and they were like, oh, 50s is, but they all said 40s is where the seed was implanted.
Yeah,
The seed of confidence,
yeah,
this seed of worthiness, this
yeah,
seed of like, I don't care what anybody else thinks. It's between, it's personal. This
yeah,
is real personal.
yeah.
So even 50s, it's like, oh, it gives us
And
so much hope.
I just think it's to the as any generation progresses, things get better. There
Yeah.
more things are available to us. The things that I have researched and found for menopausal, concerns. My mom didn't have those resources and she didn't have those things available. So it's like with every generation, um,
Yeah.
we expand and grow, right? So like I'm looking at 50. I remember when I thought 50 was old. I'm like, "Ooh, man, 50, you're almost dead." And I'm like, 50 for me now, I'm like 2 years away from it. It's right, like right here, knocking on the door, right?
Yeah.
And I'm starting to see, 50 is not old. 50 is like they're absolutely right. The seed is planted in your 40s. And I'm thinking in my 50s, like, it's gonna be on and popping for real. Like I thought it was on and popping when I came into 40. Like I'm ready to hit 50, the on and popping of 50. But
Yeah.
yeah, in our 40s, a lot of seeds are planted. Financial seeds are planted. We're prioritizing our finances differently at 40. Whereas when I was 20 and 30, I could blow a couple of $100 and not think anything of it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
now if I'm a blow $100, on a bill. It's like it's gonna have to be real, real good. You balance things a little bit different. My purchasing
Yeah.
decisions are different than they were in my 20s and 30s. Um, a good example, Shawnee and I went to this spot a couple of Sundays ago for brunch, and the drinks were like, $25 for a drink. And so she and I were sitting there at each other, and I was like, I am not paying anybody $25 for a drink. But it was a bar full of 20 and 30 something year olds that were
Yeah.
dishing it out, right? And I was like, man, that was me at 25, not having a
Not a care in
financial
the world.
conscience.
Yeah.
I'm like, at this point in life, your purchasing decisions change, and where will spend and what's important to you changes as well when you get into that over 40 world as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And let's jump into that because finances was literally my next F.
Yeah. You have
And
to prioritize that.
let's talk about it. So, according to the Cash Factory USA, there are 5 important financial tips for anyone that is entering into their 40s.
Okay.
And they say, here's the 5: build your reserve, max out your employee benefits, insure your family, which is life insurance, eliminate debt, and prepare for your children. Which for them, it wasn't just preparing for your kids financially. They went further to say, educate your kids financially. Give them financial tips to ensure that they know how to do their taxes, how they learn how to budget, and how they should learn how to invest. What y'all think? Are they spot on? Are we missing something? What you think?
Spot on.
Did
That
they
is,
hit it on there?
they hit
Oh
it. They got it. Health
my.
insurance and life insurance. That's what I meant to say. Life insurance, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. It's just those things we didn't think about in 20 and 30. I'm literally like, that was a whole discussion with my friend and I. We were talking about making sure our children are taken care of after we leave this earth. We're going to leave
Yeah.
the earth, right? And
Yeah.
we don't want to leave financial burden on our children. So, we're starting to look at life insurance policies beyond what you have at work, or beyond, what's
Yes.
you when you benefit of working for an employer. But something to the side of that. The second part of that is making sure that my parents have life insurance,
So
so that
good.
so that's part of that responsibility that grows as you are getting older, right? So
Yeah.
for me, and I said it earlier, it's about legacy for me. What am I leaving not only for my children but my grandchildren? I have two beautiful grandkids.
You do.
So what am I leaving for them? But for my children, the legacy that I leave for them, like, I don't want my boys to struggle, have to, deplete their savings accounts and that to take care of me should something happen. Um, Health insurance, you look at different. I'll just use myself again right here at this example where I'm sitting right now today. I'm dealing with a major health crisis that came out of nowhere. And
Yeah.
before that came up, I would sign up for or get the most basic health insurance policy that I needed that just covered my preventative medicine stuff. So I had that one preventative appointment a year and didn't go to the doctor, emergency room, or nothing else after that. Over 40, because your body starts doing different things and it's time to start having what we call benchmarks or markers, you might
Mm.
look at your health insurance differently of which policy you're choosing. So your
Yeah.
mammograms, your colonoscopies, your well checks, all of the things that you have to start
Yeah.
having when you're over 40, you need to start thinking about that. And the unexpected, plan for the unexpected, a savings account, have something put away,
Yeah.
something,
Something.
something
Oh,
put away.
something. Yeah.
I can't say what the golden amount should be, but you just need to start thinking about it. Start thinking about money a bit differently at this point in your life. Have your rainy day fund, your trip fund, but you got to start planning your health for your health. If
Absolutely.
something were to happen, how do I take care of this health situation? For
Yeah.
me, I had to change my policy, and it was a process to do it. And thank God that I was able to do it. But had I
Yeah.
not, I would have been in a pickle. And I've said so many times that I see how people go bankrupt with an unexpected health diagnosis, that they just
Yeah.
weren't prepared for. So start to think about the preventative things or the wellness visits that you need to have. Start to consider wellness, your mental wellness. Go see your
Woo.
therapist now,
Yeah.
because life is starting to life for you. Life be lifing, and
Yeah.
things start to happen. So even that part, go see a therapist. You know, make it part of your wellness check. And you have to start thinking about those things because your body start doing things differently on the other side of 40. So
Yeah.
prioritizing your finances, prioritizing your self-care, prioritizing your health is very, very important.
Absolutely. I'll even go further to say, like, I think that we've become so reactionary with things. And so it's about being proactive with, we already know
Yeah.
the rainy day is gonna rain. We know this. And I think by the time we reach 40, we already know that it's gonna rain. And
Yeah.
not only is it gonna rain, it's gonna pour.
Yeah.
So start setting yourself up and to be honest with you, finances is like my mom and my brother's strong suit.
Hmm.
And so I've had the ability over the last decade of really getting a head start on this. And I thank God for both of them. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here financially.
Yeah.
But it's very, very important. And so then
Yeah.
I get this, give this legacy also to my daughter of, it's not just leaving her with money. it's about some of the things that they said, which is teaching
Yeah,
your
yeah,
kids about finances. It's
yeah,
not just, she has to work for certain things.
yeah. Money
She
is
has to
not
make,
a cuss word. It's not bad, y'all. We
it's
gotta
not bad.
we gotta take the stigma off of
Yes, we do.
money, and we gotta, yes, wealth is important, but if
Yeah.
you don't know how to handle it when
Oh
it
God.
comes, you will lose it. And Erica, you and I have had this conversation, and I remember, when we talked about finances, sitting on the
Yeah.
couch, with a glass of wine in our hands, and I was thinking in my head, I wish I was that financially literate
Oh,
when
yes.
I was her age. My
Yes.
No one taught to us about money. And
Yeah.
when we did hear about it, it was always the negative side of it.
Yeah.
Money is the root of all evil. Well, no, it's not. The love of
Mm-mm.
money is the root of all evil. So
That's
loving it
right.
more than is what causes it. Just those little things that no one
Yeah.
told us. So now, again, in this over 40, using wisdom, a wise woman,
Yeah.
if you go back to Proverbs 31, that's why I said Proverbs 31 woman, she was over 40, y'all.
Yeah.
She knew how to manage her home.
Yeah.
She knew how to make ends meet. She knew how to take what she had and expand it and grow it. She knew how to care for her husband. She knew how to care for her children. Part of that was demonstrating to them business, wealth, owning your own, having your own. We got to
Yeah.
have those conversations with our children from a place of wisdom,
Mm.
and this is the space that we're sitting in right now.
Yeah. That's good. Uh, I tell my grandkids nothing is free, and show them survival skills. I do.
Absolutely.
Listen, my daughter, I listen. She has to make her bed in the morning. My friends always tell me like how routine I am with her. It's very, 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 very
Yeah.
important that
Yeah.
she understands. And it's just a bed, and she makes it super sloppy, but she's trying.
Yeah.
It's about teaching some of those life lessons. And if
Absolutely.
she wants something, I'm like, all right, what have you done to deserve all
Yeah.
of these things? Okay, so at school you a little reckless. Okay, so you know what I mean? You start trying to incentivize them off of not necessarily good deeds, but you just want to teach them
Responsibility.
responsibility.
Yeah.
And responsibility comes with mental right faith. Like she already know, you already seen her singing the Lord song,
Yes,
so
honey.
hey, she know that. Listen, I put her in play therapy. I don't know if I told you that, but I put her in play therapy her
Oh,
first a
good.
couple months into um to kindergarten because she was having some issues kind of
Yeah.
interacting, and it was new
Yeah.
for her. And so I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure that I wasn't missing the mark.
Yeah.
So it's like teaching her that,
Good.
oh,
That's
I feel
good.
safe in this space, and finances and fitness. We literally walk to school, is across the street.
Good.
And so it's just little subtle ways that we can start pouring into our kids to where not they're, now they're 18 and they've never did a workout class, or
Yeah,
they've
because you
never
you
saved
start
any money. They don't know anything about mental health and
uh-uh.
fitness and any all that stuff. So it doesn't start at 40,
It does
guys.
not.
We have to start planting the seeds, now.
Yeah, absolutely. Early.
Yeah. Did you find like you started to lose interest in any of your friends when you hit 40? Like, did your circle change any?
So I won't say I started to lose interest. Life shifts,
Okay.
and people shift with it. Um, there's a Oprah and Michelle Obama's special is on Netflix right now. The light we carry, or the light they carry, the light I carry. When she was on tour for her book, and so they talk about friendships. And I thought the way that Michelle Obama explained it was perfect for this conversation. So I'm glad you asked that question, because I was going to try to figure out how to weave it into the conversation. But she talked about when she moved into being the first lady, that she didn't have to necessarily go to people and say, we can no longer be friends. We can no longer be friends. She said they started to lose oxygen because
Mm,
they could not elevate with her life. So I think for me, I'm like, that is the perfect way. The light we carry. Thank you, Jennifer. That is the perfect way to explain friendships over 40, is that when your life starts to change, some can come and some cannot. But that's in every stage of life, right? Everyone
yeah,
don't get to go for every part of the journey. And it's
yeah,
okay. And my
yeah.
circle did change. It changed drastically.
Did
But
it?
There were
Yeah.
some women that I have carried with me, like my friend Penny. We have been friends for um let me see if Jacoby's 31, so we've been friends for 30 years. And we've just walked through every season with each other. I have another girlfriend, Tanya. Tanya has been with me probably 15 years now. That there are just some people that just go with you in life, but there's some that come in and come out. Like my group of friends that I developed relationships with when I was in Dallas. Like
Yeah.
those are my girls, you know.
Yeah.
But when I moved, some of us stay close, some of us, it's still a friendship, but it's not an up close friendship.
Yeah.
So as your life shifts, ebbs and flows, people shift as well, and their position in your life shifts, and you pick up new people, in your life that serve you well in that season. Don't feel bad when your circle changes over 40. Don't give it even a whole lot of thought. I would say don't put too much thought into it, because
Yeah.
the ones that need to be there will be there. The ones that didn't move with the ship, it will take care of itself. So like
Yeah.
Michelle Obama said, they lost oxygen. They
Yeah.
couldn't
That's deep.
elevate with it. That was so good. Like
It's so
if
good
I was
because it's so
that's
elegant,
so
right?
good.
Like
Yeah.
it's such an elegant way to define pivots in your friendships.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so elegant.
And you will
Um,
have those. Your life will pivot, your friendships will pivot. Like I said, you have those. She called it her kitchen table. There are some women that will just always be at my kitchen table through everything. When I got the news about my health challenge, there was a group of 12 women that I reached out to immediately, because
yeah.
I know that they're my core. Like they're gonna
Yeah.
hold me up. They're going to walk with me. My mentor, she started out being my mentor. She's just now like a big sister to me. Tria.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tria has walked with me since I was 17 years old. Like she will always be at the table with me. So you
Yes.
have some women that just will always be at your kitchen table, but you have some that will pull up a chair for a season, and then you'll come back around and realize that they're gone or someone else is in that chair. And it is okay.
That's so
At the
good,
end
Shaundra.
of the day, you just got to make sure your core is right. I say it all the time, girl, get your circle
Get
right.
get your circle right.
The average of the five closest people to you, failure or success lies in the people that you have around you, right?
Yeah.
So who's your core? And it's
So good.
okay. I think we put a lot of energy. We don't Friendship is not hard if you have shown yourself friendly.
That's right. Talk to him.
It's not hard. It don't put that much pressure on it. Live and be. And who's
Yeah.
supposed to be there will gravitate to you, and who is not supposed to be there, it will take care of itself.
Hmm.
It will take care
Nuggets.
of itself.
Did you find? Because okay, so I found that, and this is probably over the last couple years, but I had to hit my head so much, y'all. I'm sure we all have, ladies, so it ain't just me. But romantically, baby, I hit my head so hard. Oh my God. But I've realized that over the last 2 years, the work that I've put into like myself and like my wants and my needs and my desires, and it became less about
Mhm.
him and more about me and the desires and the wants that I need out of like myself. It changed what I looked for romantically. Do you feel like you were in that season too earlier in your 40s where you're like,
Mhm.
I then did the foolishness. I want different now.
I think that part was a little different for me because I was married for 20 years,
Yeah.
and coming out of marriage and re-entering the dating world was different. Like it was just different. But what I found when I got out of, and I had some foolish years in there, it was some real foolish shenanigans going on,
All of it.
right
Yeah.
after just foolishness. You hear me? Just foolish, just foolishness.
Oh my God.
But as
We
I
need to
came
write a
out
book
of
called Foolishness. We should all of us should come together. Every woman on this live The book is gonna be called Foolishness. Okay, and it's gonna be romantic chapters for every you take a chapter, I baby, because we
We
all
can write
have
an
been foolish.
anthology called Foolishness. And because I
Foolishness.
don't care how old you are, it's just foolishness. So after the divorce, there was
She
some,
said, "Let's
a
go."
period of foolishness.
Look, they for the foolishness. Listen, we all getting a chapter. Because, baby, ain't no woman on this earth ain't been a fool for love. Y'all can play that with somebody
Yeah,
else, not on this line.
just some foolishness.
This childish,
You're
crazy.
right. Some crazy girl in my 40s. Okay, so let me put it there. But what I did, what I learned, going back to what I needed, I
Yes.
became acquainted with what I needed and what I wanted in a romantic relationship in this season of my life. And I became okay to not accept anything outside of that.
Come on. Oh, remember we did that live on boundaries and you bust everybody head? Woo!
And it's not the easiest thing to do, but it has been the best thing for me. And when I say get acquainted with it to the point where I sat down and wrote it, this was during quarantine, when we were quarantined for COVID. You just kind of, I know I faced some foolishness. You done some foolish things.
Yeah.
And wasted some time, and let's, sit down and get your life together. So I literally sat down during COVID and wrote out what I needed and what I wanted in a relationship. And God honored that time that I spent figuring it out. So yeah, there was some foolish years in that. There was some foolishness in there, but the wisdom kicked in, so that I'm able to now manage that part of my life through
Yeah.
wisdom, and not from some of the experience that you learned in your foolish days. Nothing is wasted,
Yeah.
but
Oh no.
you just handle it different. It's that same confidence. There's just some things I'm going to deal with, and it's just some things I'm not going to deal with. I'm just not going to deal with it.
Yeah.
And again, I have less behind me than I have in front of me. So every day, month, year in a relationship, it means something.
So good.
I don't have a lot of time just to give up to see if let's see if this is going to work. No,
Yeah. That's
no,
so
this
good.
is purposeful. This is purposeful
Oh, it's
because
purposeful.
the rest of my life, yeah, it's perfect. It has to be,
Oh Lord,
because
yes.
I don't have that. I got more behind me than in front of me. So I want to live out the rest of my years in a relationship in purpose, a purpose partner. Like, I ain't got
Purposeful.
time to just be flipping and flopping and arguing and getting mad and breaking up and coming back together. I don't have that time and that energy. My life doesn't have that kind of time and energy anymore.
That's good.
And I
That's
think that
good.
just comes with the wisdom. Yeah. Yeah, we're
In,
doing things on purpose and with purpose over 40. Yeah.
that's it. In closing, this is gonna be one of my last questions, but I feel like it wasn't even in my notes, but you just hit my whole spirit. Can you talk to the ladies um who kind of has this new settling mindset? I'm talking to the ladies in their 40s where they haven't found their person yet and they're getting very nervous, they're getting antsy, they're dating people that's really all about, they may have potential but they're not someone who they need a lot of work, and they're getting discouraged, and they're willing to put the work in, but they know in the long run it's going to be detrimental to their health. Can you pour into the ladies who haven't found their person yet in their 40s and give them some sort of glimpse of hope and light?
I will say this to start, and it goes back to spirituality. God has not forgotten about you.
Mm.
He has not forgotten about you. And if it is important to you, it is important to him.
Mm.
He perfects every area of our lives, and he is concerned about everything that concerns you, and he is concerned about everything that you are concerned with. So the desires of your heart, God honors your desire. Don't don't settle. Settling is never an option
Mm.
for any part of our life.
Yeah.
Because when you settle, you're telling God that I don't have time to wait on your best for me.
Oh,
I don't have time to wait. So I'm going to settle with what this is right here because I don't feel like you know what my best is. And I don't feel like you're getting it to me quick enough. And in any time that you settle, you are selling yourself short. So while you are in this season, and it is just a season, it is not what's going to be forever. It is a season. The best way to take advantage of a season is to fertilize it and plant seeds so that when the next season comes, what you planted can grow. So, what are you planting in this season right now? What are you planting? Have you developed yourself? Are you working on yourself? Do you know your purpose? Have you settled your mental health? Are you mentally well? Because what happens, y'all, is
mm.
you will attract to your life to fill the deficits that you have created.
Jesus Christ.
And we don't want to attract in deficits. We want to attract in plentiful, in purpose. So use this time to fill all of those spaces in your life and be honest with yourself. When we talked about boundaries, I shared my honest, I had a problem with rejection. So I did things to get ahead of it because I didn't want someone to reject what I had to give them. And God checked me in that. He checked my heart in that place. And I had to deal with that place in my life so that I didn't self sabotage, so that I didn't create situations that weren't real. So when I'm saying work on your deficits, be
Mm.
honest with yourself and know what you need to work on right now and work on it. When you work on that, then God sends someone. Ooh, He sends someone to complement the places that you have healed. He sends the perfect right person to deal in the places that you have healed.
Girl, let me tell y'all, I'm over here tearing up. That was for me. Oh,
When you get those places right, he's coming. He's out there. God created us to live in relationship. And the woman is created to help. She's a helpmate. She's a helper too. You can't help if you're not whole. So you got to be whole so that you can serve the purpose that you were created to serve and be for the person that you were created and designed. And I don't care if you're single, divorced, whatever it is. There is if the desire, if your desire is to be in partnership, relationship, marital covenant with another person, God hears that and he knows that and he's working, but you got to work too. So do the work on you. Do not settle because you're settling is telling God that I don't have the patience to wait for your best.
and
And
it's an insult. It's
it's
an
an
insult to him.
it is. He created you perfectly and wholly. He created you as we are his workmen. We are his artwork. We are his handiwork. My mama tells me all the time that a woman was God's idea. So he created you with the best, for the best, to have the best.
Mm.
So don't settle and accept anything other than that. Craftsmanship. Thank you, Jennifer. I couldn't get that word out to save my life.
So,
Yeah, don't settle.
ooh.
Work. Start working.
Start working on you.
Start working on you. And
Yeah.
here's the deal, y'all. When you can be fully who you were created to be, when he comes, he compliments that.
So
I look at this season of my life and some of the guys that was in those foolish times after divorce that I thought was the one. And I sit today and think it's no way he could have handled the woman that has shown up today, the woman that God has created me to be. The woman that is sitting in her purpose and call and move of life, he could not have, there's no way he could have been a part of this part of my life. But I did some work on me. I really wanted to know, what is my call? What is my purpose? Why was I created? Why am I here? I don't want to do anything other than what you created me to be and to do. And when that started to unravel and manifest itself in my life, I look back and I was thankful that I didn't settle with those people.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how much would I have missed? What would my life be if I had settled for what I thought I was supposed to have, instead of patiently waiting for the person that was crafted for this season of my life? Ugh. Don't settle.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Don't settle. Don't do it.
Shaundra Dineen. It was it. Oh my God.
Don't settle.
Oh my God.
Don't
That
settle.
was so good.
40, so this is for any season, not just 40, but any season for any woman that's listening. Your life will be and can be whatever you want it to be, whatever you create it to be. This season can be your best season, the quote that you opened up with. This can be a season to live, or this can be a season for you to prepare to die. And that don't even make sense when we say it out loud. So
at
prepare
all.
to live in every part of your life. Enjoy life. Enjoy it. It was made for you to enjoy. It was made for you to enjoy. Enjoy it. Live your 40s, honey. I'm sitting here anxious to see what else rolls out and how purpose starts to manifest even more. You think that you are in a good place right now, Erika? You have not even seen the half. You haven't even seen the half of what's to come for your life. The people you're going to touch, the lives you're going to minister to, the women you're going to change, the legacy that you're leaving. You haven't even seen the half of it yet, dear. Not even the half of it. So you don't have space to settle. You don't have space to receive anything outside of the best for your life. You don't.
Oh, I received that. This is by far the best birthday gift I could have ever given myself. This live was so transformative. Thank you so much. Your yes to this live and what it's done for me and what I know that it's done for the ladies that's been on this live. Like the chat, I haven't even posted. The chat is still going. Thank you. We receive it. All of us entering our 40s, in our 40s. I can even guarantee you that women above 40, 50, 60 receive this. We needed to hear that.
Yeah, live. And don't be
Thank
afraid.
you.
Fear kills your future.
Yeah.
Don't let it kill your future. Live, baby. Live.
Yes. So before we go, you already know my question, which I'm going to ask you. And I'm going to ask everybody. And I went back to see what you answered the last two lives. And if you answered the same way, you got to come up with something else, okay? I'm petty. It's Sunday and I'm petty. I don't know. I'm turning 40. Y'all said I don't care about nothing. There you go. Tell me one thing. This is for you, and this is for everyone on this live. We got 15 people still here. If I don't see 15 answers, I'm going to inbox y'all like, why you ain't respond? And give me your response. Okay. What is one thing that you absolutely love about yourself?
Oh, right now today.
Yes.
Right now today, what I love about me is my resilience. It's my bounce back power. It's my ability to look a challenge in the face and tell it, I see you, but you do not win. You do not win here. Today, that's what I love most about myself.
That's such a great one. On my last live, I did it on grief recovery, and
Mm-hmm.
one of the ladies said her ability to pivot,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
That right there changed my entire life.
Yeah.
Your ability to continue to pivot
And
through
continue to show
circumstances,
up.
to continue to show up and pivot. Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Well, thank you so much. I
Thank
absolutely
you.
love you. Thank you for this live. I feel so empowered about next Wednesday. You know, I had a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress around 40, and it's more societal.
Yeah.
Um, but I just feel so at peace.
Celebrate it.
Yes,
Celebrate big. Y'all celebrate big. Celebrate it.
yes,
Celebrate.
yes.
Yeah.
I love my tenacity. What else we got? Oh, your bounce back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, I love this. Thank you so much, Shaundra. Thank
You
you,
are.
everyone else that gave us your piece of your Sunday. You could be anywhere in the world, of course, but you were here with us tonight, and we appreciate you. Shaundra, where can people find you? I'll post it in the show notes, but just let them know if they want to follow you on any sort of social media. Let them know your handles.
Absolutely. Right here on Facebook, you can follow me as Shaundra Dineen. You can follow my business page. It's Coach Shaundra Dineen Speaks. You can find me on Insta at Coach Shaundra Dineen Speaks, our fearless CEO. Um, Coming, like I shared earlier, I'm dealing with a little health issues right now, so I'm not taking on coaching clients right now, and really haven't been speaking. But I came out for you. I did this one for you.
Thank
But
you.
I'll open my coaching books back up in August, and stay tuned for my weekend intensives that will start in August as well. They're called Girl Let's Go, because it's
Yes.
time for us to stop having pity parties, and it's time for us to stop sitting in our obstacles. It's time for us to go, move forward. So all of that will be coming in August when things open up. And that's it. That's how you can find me. Follow me there.
All right. Well, I will post it in the notes. Thank you guys so much. Happy birthday to me. I'm so
Happy birthday to
excited.
you!
Yay. Well, I love you and I will talk to you soon. Have a
I love
beautiful
you too.
Saturday.
Mwah.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.